Good afternoon, everybody. We are currently waiting on the arrival of one more umpire. There was a mix-up in some scheduling. It happens. We will be online shortly and get this game started. They're doing the home plate meeting now. So as soon as we can get started, we are slightly delayed, but we will be getting started soon. Just hang tight. We will get going here shortly. We will be playing baseball. We're just a little bit delayed. It's two and one the count to Dylan Voles, the 3-hole hitter this afternoon for the Game Day Angels. It is Remington Miller getting the start on the mound this afternoon for the Lawmen, and he hits a rocket. It will leave the ballpark, and the Angels lead early 2-0. So that'll bring up Tyler Ginrich, the first baseman. Ginrich gets a first pitch ball from Miller. He swings and comes up empty at that offering. Evens a count at 1. A rare afternoon game for the Dodge City A's / Boot Hill Lawmen. Ginrich comes up empty on the offering again. He's down in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 away for the Angels. Currently 93, feels like 98. I'm sure it's much warmer than that down on the turf, as Ginrich will come up empty on the swing and the first strikeout of the game. That makes 2 away for the Angels to bring in the catcher, Brab. So Brab steps in to face off against Remington Miller. Miller played his freshman year at Barton Community College this year. He's a Dodge City product, played at Dodge City High School, played in the Youth Development A's organization as well. Starts Brab off with an inside ball. Brab comes up empty on the offering to even the count at 1. A's are looking for a win here today. The Lawmen, well, they're undefeated. The Lawmen are 4-0 as the alternate identity of the Dodge City A's, as that one is driven fair down the left field line, and it will be a single. So that brings up Kyle Hubert. Perry is going to be the courtesy runner for Brab. Hubert sees the first pitch bounce ahead of home plate. Moves ahead in the count 1-0. Take a called strike. It moves the count to 1 apiece. Hubert drives one down the left field line. It's fair, getting the wave home. The throw is there, and he is tagged out at home, and that will end the inning. The Angels got greedy and pay for it at home plate as he is tagged out. That'll do it. We're headed to the bottom of the first. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Welcome in to Cavalier as Edward Gregory Jr. is set to lead off for the Lawmen in the bottom of the first. They trail 2-0 after the 2-run home run in the top of the first, and he is led off on a called strike on the outer half of the plate. Nick Mo Oaks gets the start on the mound for the Game Day Angels. It's that pitch. This is slightly inside. It's 1-1. Mo Oaks, he is an incoming freshman, will be going to Western Nebraska this fall. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Gregory. Gregory played his junior season at Southern University, comes from Detroit, Michigan, and he'll hit a line drive out into left field. The A's get their leadoff runner aboard. And they have one on with nobody out. So that'll bring up a new arrival to the A's in Justin Cruz. Cruz was a junior this season at Florida A&M University. Comes from Archer, Florida. Oaks will make the throw over to first, not in time. The Angels, they're in their darker blue uniforms, so a dark blue core with their numeral outlined in white on their backs, also on the front. Says Angels in cursive across the front. A fly ball out into right field. It'll get down, played off the hop, and that'll move Edward Gregory Jr. over to third. A's have runners on the corners with nobody out. So unlike last night's ball game where the A's were just kind of flat all night, they already have 2 hits in the bottom of the first. Brings up Isaiah Velasco. Velasco played a graduate season this year. He's a returner to the Dodge City A's, but played at Cal Berkeley for his undergraduate career, transferred to Post University, played his graduate season there, comes from Sylmar, California. Velasco will take a strike. It's on the outer half of the plate. Down on the count, 0-1. Velasco grounds one up the first base line, and it is a foul ball. So the A's, they've transformed into the Boot Hill Lawman as they do every Sunday. So it is the black tops with gold Boot Hill on the front outlined in white. Their numbers as well. Gold numbers on the back outlined in white. Pitch is fouled off by Velasco and is down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 delivery coming from Nick Mo Oaks is a ball that misses. The only other game that's being played today, or that is scheduled to be played, well, there is no other game scheduled to be played today. So this is the only league game that is scheduled. A high fly ball. It's popped out into left field. It will allow Gregory to tag up. So the sacrifice fly and the A's are on the board. They trail 2-1. So that brings up Cade Colbreth. He's serving as a DH today, getting the half day off. A's trailing 2-1. It's A's swing and a miss as he's down in the count 0-1. Oaks works from about the middle of the rubber for the Angels. Grounded it to the second baseman, a diving stop. The throw to first is in time. Two away. That brings up Matt Perez. Perez, a redshirt freshman from Florida A&M University, comes from Orlando, Florida. First pitch he sees is inside. It's ball one. Two balls and no strikes account. There we go. Called strike. Perez still ahead in the count, 2-1. Almond looking to do some damage. They like to do damage with two away as a pitch Just misses outside. It's 3-1. No real wind to speak of, as you can see the flag in center field is pointed basically straight down. Cruz with the lead off of second. Pitch missed high, and it is ball 4. So the A's have runners on first and second now with 2 away to bring in Jacoby Radcliffe. Radcliffe, another player from Southern University, the junior, completed his junior season there, comes from Chicago. So he'll step in. He's been a staple in the A's lineup, has been mainly at center field. He'll take a ball outside. 1-0 count. The Angels are electing to play their middle infield deep. Radcliffe drives that one over the first baseman's head. That'll score a run as here comes a run. The throw home was cut off on the outfield, and the A's have tied it up at 2. Runners on the corners, and that brings in Kane Carlos. Carlos, the freshman, played at Eastern Arizona College, comes. It's a throw down to first. Nice job. In time, so talk about Carlos when we come back. Radcliffe was caught stealing, and that'll end the inning. It's 2-2. We're headed to the top of the second. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Cameron Kittredge leads off for the Game Day Angels in the top of the second. Takes a low pitch for ball number 1 from Remington Miller. Miller's back out for his second inning of work as he'll bounce that one ahead of the plate. As Kittredge moves ahead in the count 2-0. Kittredge drives it over the head of Perez, not able to pull it down. So leadoff single for the Angels. Bring in Cliff Goldie. Goldie takes the cold strike. 0-1 delivery. Misses high and outside to even the count at 1. One. Miller misses high and outside again. It's 2-1. Three balls and 1 strike to count. Only the 8-hole hitter for the Angels. He'll draw the walk. So that puts runners on first and second with nobody out. Miller has a 1-1 pitching record for the A's. Has Harbison down in the count, 0-1. 2 runners on ahead of him. Nobody out for the Angels. We're in the top of the second. 2-2 ball game. Down in the count, 0-2 is Harbison. He'll ground to the shortstop, Carlos. He'll go to second for 1, the throw to first in time. And just like that, the double play, there's 2 away. So that'll turn us back to the top of the order with Isai Santailla. He'll come up empty on the first offering. He sees Santailla. He doubled the first time he was up. One count. Right down the middle is Miller. Breaks off a beautiful curve. Maybe even been more of a breaking ball, but either way, it throws Santailla, and he's down in the count 1-2. The pitch fouled off the end of the bat. It'll go to our right and out of play. A very lucky bounce as it hit the backstop padding and came right back at Dom Roberts and saved a run. Counts 2-2. So the defensive alignment for the Dodge City A's, left to right in the outfield: Justin Cruz, Jacoby Radcliffe, and Isaiah Velasco. Third to first across the infield: Matt Perez, Kane Carlos, Edward Gregory Jr., Blake Coleman, Dom Roberts behind the plate, and Remington Miller on the mound to complete the battery for your Dodge City A's. The payoff pitch, it's cranked high out towards left field, and it is gone. Bye-bye birdie over the scoreboard, and the Angels lead 4-2. Well, this one might be a slugfest today, despite the lower wind. Here's the balls are going to fly. So that'll bring up James Harbison. He flew out his last time up. Takes a first pitch high and outside for ball 1. Miller gathers the strike zone and evens a count at 1 apiece. He'll bounce that one ahead of home plate, though. 2-1 the count. Called strike. Deuce is wild across the top of the scoreboard. Miller misses outside. Runs the count full. The payoff pitch. Fouled off. Do it over again. Pitch. Swung on high, ball 4, and that'll do it. As Harbison will go down on strikes, and we're headed to the bottom of the second. The A's will have 7, 8, and 9 due up. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Kane Carlos leads off in the bottom of the second. He takes the first pitch he sees. It's popped up on the infield. And pulling it down is Voles for a quick out number 1. 1 away, and that brings in Blake Coleman. So Kane Carlos, the freshman from Eastern Arizona College, comes from Ava Beach, Hawaii. Blake Coleman, a sophomore from the University of Arkansas Pine Bluff, comes from Austin, Texas. He's down on the count 0-1. Called strike again on the outer edge, and quickly Coleman down in the count 0-2. Oaks yanks one outside. I'll make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Oaks misses out again. It evens a count at 2. Coleman's going to foul that one off to stay alive. Count remains 2-2. Coleman will go down on strikes for out number 2. That'll bring in the catcher, Dominic Roberts. A's trailing this game 4-2. Roberts, one of the returners again to this squad, as he'll take the first pitch, pops it high. A Lake Erie product, played his sophomore season there this year, comes from Powell, Ohio, and that is out number 3. The A's go down 1-2-3. We're headed to the top of the third. It is 4-2 Angels. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Dylan Voles leads off. He's 1 for 1, homered the last time he was up, and is ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Remington Miller's back out for his third inning of work and misses. Counts 3-0. He'll draw the 4-pitch walk. So Miller, he has a 1-1 record on the mound. Drew the win against the Colorado Rough Riders on the 15th of June. Took the loss against the Cannons on June the 9th. So that brings up Tyler Ginrich, who went down swinging. He'll pop one. And it's pulled down in the outfield for out number 1. So Miller is making his 5th appearance for the Dodge City A's. He's pitched 16 1/3 innings, has a 9.92 ERA. Pitch grounded it towards the left side. It gets out into the outfield, and that puts runners on the corners. Runners on the corners with one away brings in Kyle Hubert, who singled. Hit a line drive up the line the last time he was up. Allman trailing this game 4-2 in the top of the third. The pitch, called strike. Remington's longest outing, 6 innings against the Rough Riders on the 15th. He went 4 1/3 in his latest outing against the Denver Cougars. Pitch is called strike. Down in the count, 0-2 is Hubert. He takes a step out of the box and will step back in. The pitch, grounded to the shortstop. Carlos are to second for one. The throw to first is not in time. Fielder's choice, ground out. Runners on the corners still for Cameron Kittredge, who singled the last time he was up. He comes up empty on the offering from Miller. To fall down in the count, 0-1. Miller's thrown 55 pitches in the ball game. So he'll take strike 2, catches the lower part of the zone. Down in the count, 0-2 is Kittredge. The A's would like to get out of the inning with no damage done. Runner moves over to second. Swung on and missed, and Kittredge will go down on strikes, and that will end the inning, and the Angels stray in 2, but they get a 0 on the scoreboard. We're headed to the bottom of the third. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Back at the top of the order with Edward Gregory Jr. as he swung on and missed. Takes a ball outside that evens a count at 1. Makes contact, drives it to the shortstop. The throw to first in time. That'll bring in Justin Cruz. Edward Gregory Jr. is batting .295 on the season. Cruz, after his first at-bats, is batting .600. Takes a ball outside that bounces ahead of home plate. Moves ahead in the count, 1-0. There is work down in the Angels bullpen now. 2 balls and no strikes account to Cruz. The pitch, called strike, catches the outer part of the zone. The 2-1, called strike again. Evens a count at 2. A's working their second trip through the batting order. The pitch, grounded back up the middle and just past the glove of the shortstop Santailla. The A's have a runner aboard. That'll bring up Isaiah Velasco. He'll take a pitch outside for ball 1. Velasco's batting .288 on the season. Takes a pitch, pops it high. It's going foul and will fall out of play. Check swing. Pitch was low. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. Two one is actually a throw over to first, which was not in time. Velasco grounds it. The second baseman takes it, and it is a fielder's choice. So that'll be huh? Popped up on the infield and dropping. So it'll be an infield fly for Cade Colbreth. He is out. That brings up Matt Perez. He makes contact, sends one out into left field, and the run will score. That'll put runners on the corners with 2 away. To bring up Jacoby Radcliffe. The A's trail at 4-3. Radcliffe singled the last time he was up. Pitch misses outside from Oaks. He's thrown 42 pitches now in the ball game. Oaks is going to step off. Radcliffe does the same and steps back in. 1-0 pitch coming from Oaks as his sign comes set. Delivers. Called strike, but was moving so fast the catcher couldn't hold on to it. One delivery. Radcliffe grounds it to the shortstop. The throw to first, not in time. Another run scores, and it's tied at 4. So that puts runners at first and second to bring up Kane Carlos. Carlos flew out the last time he was at the plate. The Angels, they scored 2 in the first and 2 in the second. The Lawmen, they've scored 2 in the first and now 2 in the third. The first pitch is up high to Carlos for ball number 1. By up high, I mean it was above his head. One-0 on its way from Oaks. It's fouled. Count evens at 1. Perez at second, Radcliffe at first for the Lawmen. Angels are electing to try to use their second baseman, Voles, to hold Perez at second. Shortstop's deep, right on the outfield grass. Carlos fouls that one back. Falls down in the count 1-2. Carlos will go down swinging, but the A's get 2 runs. They've tied it up at 4. We're headed to the top of the 4th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. My bad. So 1-0 count to Harbison, 2 away for the Angels. Pitch misses low. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Santaia on at second after he hit one just past the outstretched arms of Radcliffe out in center field. And that one drops in for a hit out in left, and the throw not in time. That scores a run. So that brings up Dylan Voles, who is 1 for 1. Walked on the last time he was up, hit a home run over the right field wall before that. Takes a pitch for a ball. Miller's now at 76. No work in either bullpen right now. Pitch misses outside. Voles ahead in the count, 2-0. Well, after getting 2 quick outs, a double and a single has scored a run for the Angels, and now Voles in the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Grounded at the second baseman, Gregory Jr. They'll go to second for the force out, and that'll send us to the bottom of the 4th. The A's trail at 5-4. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Blake Coleman leads off for the Lawmen. The bottom of the 4th. He Lawmen trailing 5-4. Takes a pitch high from the new pitcher, Connor Brennan. Brennan will be a freshman at Fort Hays State University this fall. Second pitch, misses. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes. I want to say that the A's saw Brennan. They did on Friday night. He pitched 1 inning, allowed 1 hit, and struck out 1. It's 3-0 the count to Coleman. He'll draw the 4-pitch walk. So the A's have their lead off aboard. That brings up Dominic Roberts. He flew out the last time he was up. It was a shallow infield fly right at the shortstop, Santaia. Pitch, called strike. A generous called strike. A little fly ball that drops out in center field. The Lawmen have runners on first and second. So with 2 on, and the Lawmen are going to send Paxton Huff down to be a courtesy runner.
Next up, number 6, Edward Gregory Jr.
The Lawmen turn the lineup over. It's Edward Gregory Jr. back at the top of the lineup. He grounded out the last time he was up. Third trip through the batting order. Shows bunt and pulls it back. Takes a ball high and outside. Shows bunt again and sends it foul. It'll even the count at 1. The Lawmen could use a big inning if they could get it here. They've got 2 on with nobody out. Have to be wary of the double play ball, though. Pitch is called strike. Has Gregory Jr. down in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It was the big inning on Friday night that propelled the A's to victory. They scored 7 in the bottom of the first. Brennan steps off and pitch fouled off the end of the bat by Gregory, and that keeps the count at 1-2. Brennan, a long look back at second. He'll step off again. A little over the hour mark here at Cavalier. Brennan steps off again. Oh, we've talked about it before. Pace of play tends to slow way down. Start getting into the bullpen. Grounded it to the second baseman. They'll go to second for 1. The throw to first in time. And, well, there it is, the double play that we were trying to avoid. So that brings in Justin Cruz. He's singled both times he's been at the plate. See if he can continue that here. The A's, they like to do damage with 2 outs. There is work down in the Angels bullpen. Pitch. So Cruz wore it, and that brings in Isaiah Velasco. Runners on the corners with 2 away. Velasco is 0 for 1. Hit into a fielder's choice the last time he was up. Comes up empty on the first offering. Falls down in the count, 0-1. Velasco sends one. It's high and deep. It's out towards the right field wall. Going, gone. A 3-run shot for Isaiah Velasco, and the A's have taken the lead 7-5. Seven 5 Lawman, and here comes Cade Colbreth. He's 0 for 2. Hit an infield fly the last time he was up. Had runners on, and it was dropped in front of the mound by the pitcher at the time. Colbreth will step in. He's batting .280 on the season. Comes up empty on the first offering. Down in the count, 0-1. Pitch is grounded foul. Cade's down in the count, 0-2. Colbreth pops one up. It's headed out into shallow center field, and Santaia pulls that one down, and that is out number 3. It ends the inning, but the A's have their first lead of the ball game. They lead at 7-5. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. 3 balls and 1 strike the count. Remington Miller back on the mound for the A's, back out for his 5th inning of work. Pitch is called strike. Count runs full. Miller with the payoff pitch. Delivered up the third base line, fielded by Perez. Throw to first in time. Out number 1. "5-3 ground out, and that brings in the catcher David Brab. He's 2 for 2, has singled both times he's been up. Both of them through the left field side. Brab will swing and miss at the first offering from Miller, and down in the count 0-1. Both teams working their 3rd trip through the batting order in the middle part of this ball game, as we're about an hour and 15 minutes in. The pitch is swung on and missed. Down in the count 0-2. Grounded to Perez again. It's fair. The throw to first in time. Picking it out is Coleman, and that is quickly 2 away. So that'll bring up Kyle Hubert. Hubert hit into a fielder's choices last time up. Hubert off the end of the bat, sends it out to right field, played off the hop. So he gets on safely. He's been on safely both times already. So that'll bring up Cameron Kittredge. Kittredge is 1 for 2, got caught swinging the last time he was up. Angels have out-hit the A's at 10-8 so far in the ball game. Pitch misses high for ball 1 to Kittredge. No errors for either team at this point. Remington will miss low. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes. A's go on the road tomorrow. They're completing what was going to be an 11-game homestand. It turned into 9 after 2 rainouts. Either way, a long time at home, and they take to the road tomorrow to travel to Hayes, America to take on the Hayes Larks. 3 balls, and the pitch misses high, the 4-pitch walk, and that puts runners on first and second with 2 away. Same thing happened in the last half inning where 2 quick outs, and then the Angels would come back and score a run. So after a quick mound visit, we're going to go back to work. And now we're going to have a mound visit from Jeremiah McCollum. So we'll take a step aside. Actually, we're going to thank some sponsors during this mound visit. Our Grand Slam sponsors, the City of Dodge City and Ford County, the Community Foundation of Southwest Kansas, Lewis Automotive Group, and Curbs Law Office, LLC. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. So the A's, or lawmen, are going to leave Remington Miller on the mound. We're going to go to work. It is Cliff Goldie coming up. He is 0 for 1, flew out the last time he was up. Throw back to second, not in time. First pitch to Goldie, misses low. Goldie sends one out to right field. Wasco tracking it, pulls it down on the warning track, and the Angels strand two. We're headed to the bottom of the fifth. The A's lead at 7-5. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Matt Perez set to lead off for the Lawmen. We've entered the bottom of the fifth. They lead at 7-5. Perez singled the last time he was up. Takes a pitch low and inside for ball number 1. Perez batting .261 on the season. Takes a high fly ball. It's sent out towards right field. Tracking it is a right fielder, but drops it. Perez digging for third. The throw will not be in time. Oh! Well, the field umpire said he was tagged out, so we'll see after the call, and it stands. So give Perez credit with the double, and he was thrown out at third. Radcliffe takes a pitch high for ball one. He's 2 for 2. Singled both times he's been at the plate. Batting .209 on the season. Radcliffe starts to show bunt, pulls it back. Makes it 2 balls and no strikes. Kittredge, a third baseman, is playing in on the green part of the infield. Middle infield's back on the outfield grass. First baseman starting to range in as well, and pitch is taken for a strike. Makes it 2-1. The 2-1 misses high. Radcliffe will take a strike, and the count runs full. There is work down in the Angels bullpen. It's a lefty that's down there. Pitch misses, and it's ball 4. So the payoff misses, and the A's lawmen have a runner aboard. Brings up Kane Carlos, who is 0 for 2. Went down swinging the last time he was up. Carlos batting .250 on the season. This is outside. The 1-0 delivery comes inside, almost hits Carlos. Moves ahead in the count, 2-0. Brennan works from the third base side of the rubber. Lefty delivers a strike. Taking all the way was Carlos, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner goes. Give Radcliffe credit with a stolen base. Accounts 3-1 to Kane Carlos. Count runs full, so we'll see another payoff pitch. Brennan lost the battle to Jacoby Radcliffe. We'll see what he can do here. The payoff pitch out into shallow left center field, and it's going to be a hit as it was hit deep in the hole. So that has runners on first and second for the Lawmen. To bring in Blake Coleman. He walked on his last time up. He's 0 for 1 in the ball game. Coleman batting .320. The throw down to third. Not able to apply the sweeping tag. And it was a strike. Down in the count, 0-1 is Coleman. Well, that'll do it as Carlos is doubled off at first on the fly out, and we'll head to the top of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. William Harbison leads off as he faces Nolan Huff, who takes over the mound. One pitch, ground out, 5-3. Huff yanks one outside as Santaia at the plate, back at the top of the order. He's 3 for 3, 2 doubles and a home run, so he's a single and a triple short of the cycle. Radcliffe charges in, pulls it down, and that is out number 2. Quickly 2 away. I don't want to get too excited because we've seen it in the last 2 half innings. Get 2 quick outs, and then the Angels like to make things interesting. Almond lead at 7-5, 10 hits for both teams at this point. Huff on the mound, he works from the first base side of the rubber. Has a 1-1 record on the mound for the A's. As that pitches in for strike number 1. Huffy took the win against the Rough Riders on the 14th of June. Drew the loss against the Liberal BJs on June 3rd. Pitch is called strike and quickly has Harbison down in the count 0-2. 6.89 ERA for Nolan Huff. He's pitched 15 2/3 innings as he misses outside. Makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes. He's allowed 13 runs. 12 of them have been earned. Struck out 12 and walked 9. Swung on and foul tipped. That'll do it. The Angels go 3 up, 3 down. We're headed to the bottom of the 6th. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Dominic Roberts leads off in the bottom of the 6th. He faces a new pitcher in Matthew Fisher. Count even at 1. Fisher works from the first base side of the rubber, and there's another pitcher down in the Angels bullpen as that one is left high. Called strike to Roberts. Bottom of the order here for the Lawmen. The payoff pitch misses inside and walks a runner on. Dom Roberts, by the way, batting 167 on the season. That'll turn the lineup over to Edward Gregory Jr. Back at the top of the order, he's 1 for 3. Grounded out the last time he was up, and Paxton Huff will go out to do the courtesy running for Roberts. So back at the top of the order as the A's start their 4th trip. Gregory sends one into left field. So that'll put runners on first and second. Edward Gregory Jr., 11 RBIs on the season. So that brings in Justin Cruz. Cruz is 2 for 2. He was hit by pitch the last time he was up. Nobody out, 2 on for the Lawmen here in the bottom of the 6th. They lead at 7-5. They got the lead in the bottom of the 4th on the 3-run homer from Isaiah Velasco. Cruz shows bunt, lays it down. It's up the third base line, but goes foul. Great idea, but most of the time here at Cavalier, anything that rolls far enough up the line, especially if it's in the brown, is going to roll foul. Well, the Angels are going to pull their infield in and have a mound visit. Let's take this opportunity to thank some sponsors, our home run sponsors: Cargill Meat Solutions, Lauren Dahl, I Don't Care Family Restaurant and Sports Bar LLC, Parker Haskins Insurance Incorporated, TCBP LLC, Jimmy John's, Victory Electric Cooperative Association Incorporated, and Forgone Financial LLC, Coke Fertilizer, Deriva Energy, Rabine Brothers, United Wireless Communications Incorporated, and Dodge City Kenworth. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. Well, now that the visits are over, there was a defensive visit by the Angels and then an offensive visit by the Dodge City A's. Both of those are over, and we'll go back to work. Cruz down in the count, 0-1. 2 runners on with nobody away in the bottom of the 6th. Cruz is showing bunt again. The first baseman ranges in. They turn around to fake the throw back to second. Well, the umpires, they show reset the clock, but there's no clock to reset. They're not keeping a pitch clock here in these games. The pitch misses inside. It's even at 1. Fisher, a freshman at Augustana College. Cruz makes contact, fouls it off. Falls down in the count, 1-2. Well, I think a balk was called, but runners move forward, and that's going to bring up a mound visit. Well, the Denver Cougars are trailing the Liberal BJs 10-3. It is a non-league contest. So the BJs now 11-3, that game in the bottom of the sixth. Count runs full, so we'll see a payoff pitch here from Fisher. Runners on second and third. Cruz cranks it out into left field, and that will bring a run home. That'll put runners on the corners. So with runners on the corners and nobody out, one run in for the Lawmen. They lead it 8-5. That brings in Isaiah Velasco. Cruz does have 2 RBIs on the season already as Velasco takes the first pitch for ball 1. He's 1 for 2, hit a home run the last time he was up. Velasco has driven in 16 runs. He hits another fly ball out towards right field, but it is pulled down. It will be a sac fly as another run scores, and the Lawmen lead it 9-5. One away for the Lawmen, and that brings in Cade Colbreth. It's 0 for 3 in the ball game, a ground out, an infield fly, and a fly out. Called strike to Colbreth. It's 26 RBIs on the season for the A's. Down in the count, 0-2 as that pitch was called strike. Fisher starting to dial in and find the zone. He's thrown 17 pitches in the inning. Runner goes. He'll be caught in a pickle, and the will be tagged out at second. So we'll go back to work with nobody on and 2 away for Cade Colbreth. He'll foul that pitch off. Count remains 0-2. The Lawmen, they scored 2 in the first, 2 in the third. 3 in the 4th, and so far 2 in the 6th. Grounded to the second baseman. He bobbles it. They'll make the throw to first in time. That'll do it for the bottom of the 6th. We're headed to the top of the 7th, and it is the ketchup, hot dog, and mustard race coming up. We'll throw it down to the field for that.
Hot dog, mustard, ketchup, ice cream, hamburger, corn rays.
Look at this.
Look at Leo, bro.
On the hop, little legs.
What did you say, Andy?
I said you're going to run fast, and I hope you do good. I'm cheering for you.
No, I'm going to Oklahoma tomorrow. I gotta leave to Oklahoma.
Oh my God, so
All
cute.
right, fans, let's be loud for them, please, when they get to running here. All right, cheer them on. Are we ready? Set. Go, 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 go!
Woo! Oh man, Hamburger. Hamburger's gonna win twice in a row. Let's go Sunday.
I think that's hamburger.
Hamburger 2 days in a row.
Great job, everyone. Give him another hand, everyone, please. Give him a loud round of applause.
Is the catcher... Sorry, not the catcher. Voles leads off for the Game Day Angels. We've entered the top of the 7th. Wahman leading it 9-5. Pitch is popped up. Nolan Huff back out for his second inning of work, and it falls foul for strike number 1. Huff yanks one inside. It evens a count at 1. 1-1 pitch. Huff has his sign come set. Misses high. Three balls and one strike to count to Voles, who leads off for the Angels. Pitch from Huff misses inside, and Voles will draw the walk. Four strikeouts and 4 free passes issued so far in this ball game by the A's pitching staff. Ginrich pops one up. It's on the infield. Taking a few steps in is Gregory Jr. and will collect it for out number 1. So 1 on and 1 away for the catcher Brab now, who is 2 for 3, grounded out the last time he was up.
Number 7, David Brab.
Huff starts off with a pitch outside. 1 ball and no strikes. So after the A's spend the majority of this week on the road, they'll return back to Cavalier for a game on Saturday night against the Liberal BJs. 2 balls and no strikes account to Brab. The A's will also finish their series with the Angels. They will have 2 more games to play out in Colorado, those to be, I believe, on the 15th and 16th. Brab comes up empty on the swing. Yes, the A's will play the 15th and 16th against the Angels. They will play the 17th before they return home. 17th is against the Colorado Rough Riders, and that will complete the series with both of those teams. So the pitch from Huff, a fly ball down the right field line that falls fair. That'll put runners on first and second. That brings in Kyle Hubert, who is 2 for 3, singled the last time he was up. He's been on base safely all 3 times he's been up as he hit into a fielder's choice between the 2 singles. Called strike. Down in the count, 0-1. Pitch is fouled right in front of the batter's box. Down in the count, 0-2 is Hubert. To delivery. Huff fires in, is grounded to the third baseman. They'll go to second for the out. 2 away. That'll bring up Cameron Kittredge. Kittredge walked on the last time he was up. Kittredge, a fly ball that'll get out into right field and pulled down by Velasco. That'll end the inning, and we're headed to the bottom of the 7th. It's stretch time in Dodge City. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Bottom of the 7th, and Matt Perez is set to lead off for the Lawmen. They lead at 9-5. New pitcher on the mound for the Angels is Joshua Weldon, a freshman at Clark University. Matt Perez steps up. It is the middle of the order due up for the A's. Perez is 2 for 2, a walk, a single, and a double. See what he can do here. Perez with 14 RBIs on the season. As the flux capacitor might have been in high gear on that one. Delivered a little bit high. 88 mile an hour must have been going too quick. Two balls and no strikes account to Perez. Weldon working from the first base side of the rubber, and he'll come up empty on the offering. Count now 2-1. Perez sends a fly ball out towards left, and dropping it is Goldie. It'll roll to the wall, and Perez in with another double. So that'll bring up Jacoby Radcliffe, who is also 2 for 2, has singled 2 times and walked the last time he was up. Radcliffe with 17 RBIs on the season. Well, I'm not sure what they are talking about, as Coach Allen and the field umpire were having a discussion, and now Brab and his pitcher Weldon were also having a discussion, but we'll go back to work. Radcliffe set to face off against Weldon. Delivers a strike on the outer edge. Gets Radcliffe down in the count, 0-1. 1 on and nobody away for the Lawmen here in the bottom of the 7th. This game just over the 2-hour mark now. We did start a little bit late. One of our umpires had a slight miscue, thought it was a 6 o'clock game, not a 1:30 in the afternoon. Either way, we're here playing baseball. Counts 1-1 to Radcliffe. He'll send one shallow on the infield, and it's a hit. Hit.
Number 19, Kane Carlos.
Runners on the corners for Kane Carlos, who has 1 for 3. He singled last time he was up. Radcliffe took a lead off of first. Carlos with 5 RBIs on the season. Looking to add 1 here possibly. Pitch low, and it scores a run on the wild pitch. The A's Lawmen lead it 10-5. Moves Radcliffe up to second. 2 balls and no strikes, account to Kane Carlos. The Lawmen have scored in every half inning except the 2nd and 5th. Weldon yanks another one outside. And the hurry it up, get going sign given to the Angels bullpen. 3 balls and no strikes to Carlos. Called strike. He got the inner edge. Carlos was taking all the way. Oh, it's in and it will hit Carlos. It also got a piece of Brab, who wore a pitch in his right shoulder last night. That'll bring the coach out of the dugout for the Angels. They're going to have a mound visit. Let's go ahead and thank some sponsors. Our Trimple sponsors: Conant Construction LLC, Wild Pines Washes Dodge City LLC, Tommy's Car Wash, First Avenue Dental PA, ITC Great Plains LLC, Hinton Plumbing Service LLC, Medical Heights Dental Center PA, DC Appliance and Furniture, and Dodge City Eye Care. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball.
Next up for the Lawmen, number 24, Blake Holman.
So that'll bring in Blake Coleman, who is 0 for 2. He flew out the last time he was up. Coleman with 4 RBIs on the season. Nobody out. Runners on the corners for the A's, and Coleman comes up empty on the offering to fall down in the count 0-1. 1 run in already in the inning. Radcliffe at third, Carlos at first for the Lawmen. Carlos goes, a pitch is fouled off. Fouled off the knob of the bat, actually. Coleman falls down in the count 0-2. The 0-2 from Weldon misses outside. Exit 1-2. Weldon delivers, and Coleman drives it out into right field. That'll put runners on the corners as another run scores. The Lawmen lead it 11-5. So that'll bring up the catcher, Dominic Roberts, who is 1 for 2, walked on the last time he was up. Roberts with 3 RBIs on the season. Steps up with nobody on, runners on the corners. 2 runs in the inning is now Carlos at third and Coleman at first. Roberts comes up empty on the first offering from Weldon. Falls down in the count 1-2, or 0-1, sorry. Weldon's thrown 17 pitches so far in the inning. This is his first inning of relief as he misses high on the breaking ball inside. One bounced in front of the plate. So now with runners on second and third, still nobody out for the Lawmen. The first 4 batters have reached safely in the inning. Roberts fouls a pitch off. Count evens itself at 2 apiece. Go back to work with the 2-2 pitch as Weldon steps on the third base side of the rubber. Infield is drawn in, and Roberts sends that one down the right field line and foul. Count stands at 2-2. The entire infield is drawn in by the Angels. The third baseman standing, third and first are both standing at the cutouts for the base. Middle infielders are shortstop standing at the green. The second baseman a few steps back. Pitch is fouled off again by Roberts. Count remains 2-2. Seventh pitch of the at-bat coming to Dom. He'll yank one in front of the plate, and the count runs full. Payoff pitch coming from Weldon. Dom fouls it off again. Ninth pitch of the at-bat coming up. Ooh, Roberts will go down on strikes as Weldon wins the duel. That'll return us back to the top of the order with Edward Gregory Jr. He is 2 for 4. He singled the last time he was up. Edward Gregory Jr. slugging .492 on the season. One away for the Lawmen with 2 on and 2 runs in. They lead it 11-5. Pitch misses high for ball 1. Weldon spikes one ahead of home plate. Gregory ahead in the count, 2-0. Weldon has his sign. Delivers, it's low. 3 balls and no strikes to count. Weldon possibly in danger of walking the bases loaded. Pitch is called strike. The 3-1 delivery. Catches the outer part of the zone that time and runs the count full. So after working ahead in the count, back-to-back called strikes, and we're going to see a payoff pitch here. Weldon delivers. It's grounded at the shortstop, and they'll throw to first. And they get the out at home. So that brings up Justin Cruz, who is 3 for 3. He was singled 3 times and has been hit by pitch once. Cruz slugging .600 on the season here in the early part. Count even at 1, 2 away for the Lawmen. Cruz sends a high fly ball. It's out to left field. It's over the scoreboard and gone. It's a 3-run shot for Justin Cruz, his first home run as a Dodge City A, and it is over the scoreboard, and the A's lead it 14-5. So that'll bring in Isaiah Velasco as The A's have scored 5 in the bottom of the 7th to lead at 14-5. Velasco is 1 for 2, hit into a sac fly the last time he was up. He belted a home run over the right field wall earlier in the ball game. That was a 3-run shot. Both for the A's have been 3-run shots. So he takes the ball inside for the first pitch. Velasco slugging .538 on the season. Takes a strike that evens a count at 1. Velasco's ahead in the count, 2-1. Isaiah Velasco goes down on strikes, and that'll send us to the top of the 8th. The Lawmen lead it 14-5. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Back-to-back singles have 2 on for the Angels. That returns him to the top of the order with Isai Santaia, who is 3 for 4. Flew out the last time he was up. So Goldie on at second. Harbison at first. Nolan Huff into his 3rd inning of relief. Pitch is called strike. Evens a count at 1. Down in the count, 1-2. Huff steps off. Pitch is grounded up the third base line. It's fair. Here comes a run. So it's an RBI double for Santaia. Lawmen lead it 14-6 now. 95 feels like 102 here in Dodge City. Can only imagine how hot it is down on that turf. Pitch misses outside to Harbison for ball 1. Struck out swinging his last time up. Another run scores. Here comes the second. The throw home in time, and a laser shot by Isaiah Velasco to get Santaia out at home. 1 away for the Angels with a runner on at first. That'll bring up Dylan Voles. He's 1 for 2. Lawmen lead at 14-7 now. Down on the count, 0-1. So the Angels had been held scoreless since the 4th. One ball, 1 strike, 1 away. Three balls and 1 strike, the count. So that'll prompt a mound visit after Voles draws the walk. 2 runs in, there's 2 runners on and 1 away. Genrich is 0 for 4 as he flew out his last time up. Down in the count, 0-1. Grounded to the third baseman. Perez will go to second for 1. The throw to first. In time, they get the double play. The A's get out of it. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. The Lawmen lead 14-7. You've been listening to Dodge City A's baseball. Cade Colbreth leads off as Shane Lejeune de Acutis takes over the mound for the Angels. Delivers a ball inside, and it's 1 ball and no strikes to count to Cade Colbreth. Lejeune? I don't know. I know that there's a pronunciation on it, and I've butchered it. That's okay. That's what happens. Two balls and no strikes account to Colbreth. He'll take that one and sends it foul out of play. Going to send a few kids running for a ball to return to the concession stand to get $1. So that's one way you could incentivize your kids to get a hot dog. Get yourselves 4 foul balls and you can get a hot dog. Pitch was fouled. It went straight down. Rolled out into the field. Count has run full. So we'll see a payoff pitch from De Acutis. Works from the middle of the rubber. He comes set. Payoff pitch delivered. It's low. It'll hit Colbreth in the legs, and the A's have their lead off a board. They lead at 14-7 here in the bottom of the 8th. They're going to send a pinch runner out. Mekhi Johnson's going to go run for Cade Colbreth. 1 on, nobody out, and that brings up Matt Perez, who is 3 for 3. A single and 2 doubles. He doubled the last 2 times he has been at the plate.
Next up, number 27, Matt Perez.
Perez slugging .413 as he sends one to the second baseman, and he bobbles it, and that'll move Johnson over to third. Runners on the corners with nobody out. So that brings up Jacoby Radcliffe. So that's 2 doubles and 2 singles for Matt Perez in this ball game. Jacoby Radcliffe steps up. He's 3 for 3. All 3 singles with a walk in there as well. Radcliffe takes the first pitch, called strike. Radcliffe is slugging .418 for the A's this season. So he takes pitch inside, called strike, falls down in the count 0-2. .02 misses outside. Exit 1 and 2. Normally on a night, A's would be taking their BP right about now. Went to second for the out. It scores a run. That brings up Kane Carlos. He is 1 for 3. He was hit by pitch the last time he was up. Carlos slugging .389 for the A's. Takes a pitch outside, called strike. I feel like the outer strike zone might have expanded a little bit here in the later innings of the ball game. On the count, 0-1. Carlos sends a foul ball up the line. Falls down in the count, 0-2. The A's have scored in every half inning now except the second and the fifth. They lead at 15-7. Pitch is outside. The runner goes, and he is in safe. A little bit of a delayed steal, but Radcliffe in safely at second. Another stolen base for the Dodge City A's. Carlos fouls that one off again, throws the end of the bat at it. Fouls it off to stay alive. The count remains 1-2. Acutis misses outside. It evens the count at 2. 1 out, 1 on for the Lawmen. Carlos sends that one foul. Kane Carlos represents what would be the game-ending run in a run rule. He is hit by pitch and will take his base. So Carlos at first, Radcliffe at second, and that brings up Blake Coleman. Coleman is 1 for 3. Singled the last time he was up. We're going to take a quick mound visit between the catcher Brab and the pitcher De Acutis. Let's take this opportunity. We'll thank our single sponsors, David H. Snap, Robert L. White, John F. Wilkinson, Gail L. Osmus, Mead Lumber Company Incorporated, Best Water of Southwest Kansas, and Mr. G's Liquor. We thank you for your sponsorship and support of Dodge City A's baseball. Well, a mound visit's over. We'll go to work. Blake Coleman steps up to the plate. The Lawmen leading at 15-7, and the Lawmen, they are 4-0 as the alternate identity as the pitch is delivered high and inside from De Acutis for ball 1. Looking in, has his sign come set. Take a look back at second. Radcliffe with the lead. And De Acutis yanks one outside. Count moves to 2-0. Coleman delivers. It's up the line. The third baseman fields it. Takes it for the out.
Now batting the catcher, number 4, Dominic Roberts.
Brings up Dominic Roberts. He's 1 for 3. He went down swinging his last time up. Carlos at second, Coleman at first. Roberts takes a called strike. Falls down in the count, 0-1. Called strike to Roberts. He's slugging .292 on the season. Bottom of the order for the Dodge City A's. Roberts is down in the count 0-2. Fouls that one off to stay alive. Count remains 0-2. Oh, Roberts is called out on a called strike 3 on a very generous strike zone. That'll end the inning. We're headed to the top of the ninth. The Lawmen lead it 15-7. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Catcher Brab leading off for the Angels. He's 3 for 4, singled the last time he was up. Nolan Huff back for his 4th inning of relief. Brab sends a fly ball out into center field. Radcliffe tracking it. Runs into the wall. Oh, he's down. Oh, Radcliffe is up on his feet and walking. Well, that'll bring in Kyle Hubert. Jacob Linz, the courtesy runner, on at third. Nobody out for the Angels. Hubert is 2 for 4, hit into a fielder's choice his last time up. The pitch is low, and that's not going to feel good for Roberts. I'll go to work. Waubin lead it 15-8. Hubert sends a fly ball out into center field. Radcliffe tracking it, pulls it down for out number 1. Brings up Cameron Kittredge. Kittredge is 1 for 3. Flew out the last time he was up. 1 away for the Angels. They're down to their final 2 outs. Pitch called strike, catches the outer part of the zone. Has Kittredge down 0-1. Goldie standing in the on-deck circle. This pitch is called strike. Down in the count, 0-2. Kittredge will go down swinging for the second out of the inning. The Angels are down to their final out. They trail 15-8. Brings up Cliff Goldie, who has 1 for 3. Singled the last time he was up. Everything in this game that he has hit has been to the right side. Both of his flyouts were to Isaiah Velasco. Pitch misses. 1-0 the count. Goldie swings at the offering from Huff. By the way, the A's, they've used just 2 pitchers in this ball game so far. Huff came in relief of the starter Miller, who, by the way, is in line for the win. Goldie, a line drive at Blake Coleman at first base. That'll end it. The Lawmen improved to 5-0, and the A's improve as well. We'll come back with your final game numbers and wrap up as the A's win 15-8 over the Game Day Angels. We'll be back after this. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball. Well, the A's take Game 3 of the series over the Game Day Angels. They improved to 10-10 overall and 8-6 in the Rocky Mountain League. The A's win it 15-8 over the Angels. They scored in every half inning but the second and the fifth. They would score 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the sixth, 5 in the seventh, and 1 in the eighth. 15 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They stranded 6. The Angels, they would score 8 runs on 16 hits, no errors, and strand 9. Remington Miller's going to get the win on the mound today for the Lawmen Dodge City A's. Connor Brennan taking the loss on the mound for the Game Day Angels. Your scoring summary looks like this. It was early and often for the Dodge City A's. Edward Gregory Jr. would lead off in the first with a single, followed by a Justin Cruz single, and both of those runs would come around and score. Isaiah Velasco would drive one in on a sac fly, as would Jacoby Radcliffe after the Matt Perez walk. He would hit a single and drive in a run as well. The A's would be held scoreless in the second, but in the third, it would be Justin Cruz coming through with another single. Isaiah Velasco hits into a fielder's choice. Matt Perez singles and drives in a run. And then Jacoby Radcliffe singles and drives in a run. Then in the fourth, Blake Coleman would lead off and draw the walk. And then Dominic Roberts, he would single. Justin Cruz would get on. He was hit by pitch in that at bat. And Isaiah Velasco would come up. He would belt a 3-run homer over the left field wall. That would give the A's a 7-5 lead, and they would never look back. The A's would not score in the fifth, but they would get runners on. They had 2 on. And then in the sixth, the A's would get Dominic Roberts to lead off. He would draw the leadoff walk, followed by an Edward Gregory Jr. single. Cruz would come up and single again. He would drive in a run. Velasco would fly out to right and drive in a run on a sac fly. So Roberts and Gregory would score in the sixth. In the seventh, Matt Perez would lead off. He'd hit a double, followed by a Jacoby Radcliffe single, and then a Kane Carlos hit by pitch that loaded the bases. Blake Coleman would step up and single and drive in a run. And then the A's would turn the lineup over back to Edward Gregory Jr., who hit into a fielder's choice. Justin Cruz would step up and drive 3 in as he would hit a no-doubter over the scoreboard into left field. That was a 3-run shot. The A's were well in control of the game at that point as they would go into the bottom of the 8th as Cade Colbreth would be hit by pitch and get on. He would eventually come around and score. Matt Perez singled. Jacoby Radcliffe hits into a fielder's choice. Kane Carlos is hit by pitch. And Blake Coleman hits into a fielder's choice. That is the scoring wrap-up for your Dodge City A's as they improve to 10-10 overall, 8-6 in the Rocky Mountain League. The A's set their sights on the Hayes Larks as they will travel to Hayes America. That game tomorrow, 7 p.m., right here on the Dodge City A's YouTube channel. I am Justin Hergert, was alongside with Carson Lindsay tonight assisting with the live stream. For the entire A's board and organization, we say thank you for following along. The A's win it 15-8 over the Game Day Angels. They lead the series 2-1. You've been listening to Dodge City A's Baseball.